Hey guys, and welcome back to another update on my Reef aquarium. And as you can see, I've done a big transfer. I've transferred everything from my little fluval Evo 13.5 and I've moved it all into the larger system here. So I've added all the corals, all the fish, literally everything apart from obviously the sand, the water, but I have added in the biome, which is the biological media, underneath that little floss pad there. It's always difficult to get that lid back on. But yeah, everything's been alright. It's just this GSP shot in, and then everything else is out within 2 days. Yeah, but yeah, 2 days. And the fish, I mean, they're in the corner, but it looks like they're hosting that corner actually. But I haven't lost any fish, which is great actually. I was actually thinking that I would lose something, a coral or fish, something, but nothing. Absolutely everything's completely fine. This is where the fluval was. Remember, it was right here. So that's now well, I've got rid of that now. I haven't sold it. It's just we're going to box it up, and it's going to be just put in the shed just for spare use if I want to use it in the future. So I'm going to show you all the corals, what they look like under this lighting, because it was really interesting to see what kind of response there to get to it. And this torch coral, if it'll focus, has reacted. I mean, it's alright. I mean, it's a little bit shot in, and it's completely different flow now. I'll get to wave pumps in just a sec, so it's a little bit shot in than usual, but it will expand over the next week or two once it completely adjusts to the water chemistry, light, and flow. This candy cane, you can actually film this now. It was in the fluval tank. I couldn't really film it well because it was the light was funny. It just all blur out, but here we go. So here's the candy cane here. So it's starting to split heads again there. As you can see, it's got a mouth at the top, mouth at the bottom. It's got a little dot in the middle. So maybe it's split into 3 heads. That one is also split in. So that should go really quickly under this lighting. And I've unfortunately got a few aptasias, which are pretty much little anemones, which if they get too big, they're going to start attacking this candy cane, which I don't really want. So I'll just get rid of those with I think it's made by Red Seas, Aptasia Rex, which instantly just wipes that out. And this Duncan here, I mean, shot in from on this side because of the flow, but I mean, it will be alright. But Duncan corals, they do like higher flow, so this should do just fine. Hopefully it grows nice. What else we got? So we've got snail in there, that's doing alright, cleaning up everything. Obviously the GSP is shot in. It's the only one that's really shot in for quite a while. I've just glued it onto this rock here, because I'm thinking of having a big island of green star polyps, so it'd be just one big luminous green ball, which would be very, very nice. I've actually got a new coral as well. Anyone that's been following my my videos for a few months, if anyone remembers, a few months ago, I had a little frag in my fluval tank, a tiny little thing, and this was it. Exactly the same species and colour and all that, but it's the one in the fluval died because it was so small. It just completely bleached out, and unfortunately didn't quite make it. But I've got a much larger piece here. This is an LPS coral, chalice, and it's called an Hollywood Stunner. It's very nice. And from what I've heard and seen, my dad's actually got a big piece of this as well, is that they grow extremely fast, which I guess could be a downside as well. I don't want it taking up too much space, but I can always frag it as well. And another thing is they release very large feeding tentacles at night. So I'm going to have to put it in a spot where it's not too close to any other corals. And I've got a little war coral that's just dumped down there. It's been knocked over by a snail, so it's just down there for the moment. It's actually good down there anyway, because I've put, you can notice that I've put everything on the lower bottom of the tank apart from that hammer, though I can't really put that anywhere else, just because I wanted to slowly adjust the lights. I've got them dialed down right now for the meantime, for the first few weeks, a month or so. So yeah, that war coral's doing alright. Zoas look quite nice under this light, much better than they did under the fluval. White lights looks horrible, but now really good glowy. So we got utter chaos, we got radioactive dragon eyes, we got jungle juice, and then here orange ones there, lava ice. and the red ones, they're slightly different. They're called Ring of Fire. And then I've got my Red Monty Pura, which hopefully plates out quite nice. It was doing actually quite well in the fluval, and that was getting barely any light and flow. So with more flow and light, that thing should hopefully go quite crazy. The hammer in this corner looks really, really nice actually. Very, very luminous. A lot more luminous than I think it'd be. It's just, this thing's just crazy, and when it gets bigger and expands more, that should be a nice big green ball that the clownfish might possibly actually start hosting. If not, I might just put a little bit. I might consider putting a bit of pole score in here. I tried not to get as much any pole score in this tank at all, because I didn't really want any in it. It was this kind of takes over the tank really easily. There's the A-can down there, which is really fluffing up now because it's got a lot more, well, a lot less flow. So that should be a lot happier now. So I might put a piece of pole squirrel down there just for the clownfish to feel more safe and a little bit more happier, so they can host the natural coral instead of just a very, very tight corner down there. And there's a few more corals to cover. Pink hystrix. Looks a bit browny green, but it is a pink hystrix, and it is completely 100% happy. I have put those a little bit higher up because their SPS can stand quite a bit more light. I didn't really have much room for them down here for now. So the hystrix, it's just because the light, you can see the pink of its flesh more under white lights than blue. So I'm running quite blue lights, so you can't really see the colour for the moment. Red digitata, really easy SPS coral. Just got a big, actually I'd say that's a colony there. And above it, tiny little piece of elkhorn. Again, really easy, fast growing. And one last thing is blue digi, that little stick there. We'll see how that grows. Blue digitata. And that's all the coral actually. And yeah, cleanup crew wise, the snails made it easy peasy. They're really hardy, but they should do nice in this tank. So they'll have a lot more algae to consume. They're already starting to. You can see on the filter there, the squiggly lines. That's where they've been. They're already starting to munch up, which is good. Because I don't want the rocks getting too green. But actually, I'm getting quite a bit of diatoms already starting. Just a few weeks in, see all that little light brown patches. That's diatoms that starting up, but that should clear up. Tanks go through different stages, so I'm just gonna have to wait this out. There's nothing I can really do about it. Some bits might get eaten, and the shrimp in the, you can just see a little whisker, a little white whisker. He's in there, but he's a blood red violet shrimp. You can expect that for them to hide away quite a bit. So you can't really odds it. Oh yeah, I forgot about the damsel as well. He's been hiding away. I don't think he really likes the camera. But he's at the back somewhere. Blue damsel, absolutely doing great. Just exploring. There he is. Trying to get a shot of him. There he is. Just, I don't know if you saw that. He's really. I'd say he's probably the most shocked thing actually. Well, out of the two other fish, he's still exploring, getting used to the tank. But yeah, he'll be fine. And yeah, and then next I've got a few more equipment. I just got one piece of equipment here. I've got another wave pump, because that 2,500 litre hour pump isn't quite enough. That's the one that came with my fluval. Just got that so I can get a decent amount of surface vegetation. So I've just got that pump there. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to stop the pump. So I just hold that green button, and that's the small one stopped. And I could do the same with this one. Look, I've got this controller mounted up. I'm going to mount all my controllers up here. We just got to get the time to do that, so we look down through. So you can see all the corals look really, really nice here. So there's the wave pump there. It's quite a size difference, but it goes up to 8,500 litres an hour. I'm only running at 700, and it's quite a bit of flow in there. But it will slow down over time. J-cods, they're known to do that. But it might even speed up when it starts a little slimy coat around there. It might just become more slippery, I guess. It might speed up, might slow down, we'll see. And obviously eventually it's going to cover up with coralline algae, like this one's kind of, that's the little purple stuff, purpley pink stuff all over the wave pumps. That will spread onto this one as well, and hopefully eventually across the whole the rock scape. And what I've done for my fluval tank is I've scratched off as much coralline off the back wall as possible, and I've sprinkled it, crushed it up all in here. So that should start as quickly, well, over the next month or two, hopefully. And yeah, I've got my ATO rigged up. That's all good. So water's gonna come out here, and then I've organised my electrics as well. That's all right. Down up there. Camera looks misty. I don't know why. Temper control is just down there, upside down. Again, yeah, I need to mount those. And this is my reservoir. I believe this is about 40 litres. That's all topped up. So that's keeping my water line nice and steady. Right on that little max line. Right on, it says max there. Right on the line there. It's keeping it right dead on there, which is nice. So now it's just the weighing game. Just to see, I want to see this GSP open up. I want the fish a little bit more out. If the fish still feel weird over the next couple of weeks, if they're still hanging out in this corner, I'm going to put a little frag of pole scroll in that spot. Just so they feel a little bit more home, so they could just create a home. As well, we'll see if they host it. They might host a hammer or a torch, but yeah, we'll see. Next piece of equipment for this tank is we're going to need a skimmer. I'm thinking, actually, I'm not going to say what skimmer I'm going to get. You'll see maybe in the next video. I think maybe I don't know yet. But yeah, the skimmer's going to be kind of, I'm going to say one thing, right? I'm going to go for an internal one right in that corner. Okay. I don't have many options anyway, but I've got a good one in mind that I know is silent and really efficient. So yeah, you'll see that in the next video. And what I've had one little issue as well with the Red Sea LED reef lights. This has actually just happened. Well, I'm actually filming this tank on a Monday, but I'm uploading it on a Thursday or Friday. I don't know yet. But yeah, today I've had a little connectivity issue with these Red Sea lights. Quite common, actually. People saying connectivity issues just for a few hours. It should clear itself up. I have reset the network. I've tried restarting my phone and all that. Nothing seems to be working, so I'm just going to play the waiting game and see if they just connect on their own, fix themselves, hopefully. But by tomorrow morning, if they're still weird, like if they're still not connected, then I'm gonna have to get right on that and start fixing some stuff. So the schedule still runs fine. That's not an issue. I can still do the manual mode as well, manually put up the lights up. But what I can't do is change the what do you call it? The schedule. I can't change the schedule or save it or anything. That's the only thing it doesn't let me do, which is fine right now. I just went to change the schedule, make it a little bit more blue, and it just kind of kicked me out. Just completely lost connectivity. So I'm just going to see if that solves itself, hopefully. And the coralline currently on my real reef rocks here will probably go white like this one's going. You see a difference, purple and then white. That's because of the different spectrum of lights. If you find your coralline starts going white, it will probably be either alkalinity issue, not as in like not stable, or not high enough, or it's going off balance, or it's the lights. Usually, I googled it. It usually happens when you change the spectrum or intensity of lights. So all that's gone into this completely different lights. So yeah, it might go white for a few weeks or a month even. But it's not dying. It's just changing, taking a different form. So we want to we just want to wait and see if hopefully that turns purple again, because it does look really nice. This is going purple here, so you can see it's still going a little bit white there. But we'll see what's what. So in the next video, we'll have possibly the skimmer. This connectivity issue with the lights hopefully is fixed. Well, yeah, it will be fixed. And yeah, we'll see what's what. I believe this is episode 4. So yeah, I'll see you next week with another update. And you'll see me then. Bye.